Working harder or smarter is the question today, and I'm gonna take you in a little trip with me, and I'm gonna tell you a story. I hope you're gonna learn something from that story. It just happened to me yesterday. I spoke to one of the local business people here in that village that I live in now, and that is a quiet town. Let's put it this way, a quiet village with a resort, a lot of tourists coming here. And I was talking to some local business people, trying to pitch them to consult them with 35 years experience in business, success and failure. I think I can help. I think I can bring some value to the table to these people. So this current scenario was about a deal to be closed. The deal was buying a business for about $200,000, then buying the property. That's a good plan this businessman, this local business guy had. He had a plan to upgrade his auto shop from two car sales. A small guy, he wanted to get it to another one with 6 car lots, so he can hire more workers and blah blah blah. You get the story. I hope you get the story. So he went to another person who is an older business person, and he had a lot of garages and dealerships and properties and real estate and all this bunch of stuff. So he was trying to buy his business, and we talked a little bit, and I told the guy, how many workers you have now? And he said, oh, I only have one worker here, one guy who works. He's a young kid and I pay him very little money. Good money for the kid to learn the business meanwhile and get a experience. A good worker, young kid, 20-something years old. Anyway, so let's get to the meat of this conversation, of this story. So I asked the guy, how are you planning to go ahead? Because he's been going after this guy to buy his business for about a year and did not succeed. And I asked him, how are you gonna scale your business now, your business that you have here? How are you gonna put more workers here to work? What's your plan? And he started complaining, oh, I have too many cars lined up and da 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 da. So I say, but tell me, how are you gonna get all these cars going through the shop and like satisfying customers? And he said, I'm just gonna work harder. Well, I don't know if this is the right approach. So I say, why don't you just work a little bit smarter? Because the guy already had a lot of habits built in. He comes early in the morning in the shop and he goes late at night. Personally, he is married for his business. His business is his wife, his only child, his only baby. And you know how, if you are in business, you know how the business is. The business takes everything of you. You have to give it as much as you can. But the way in which you do that is, most of the people will say hard work and hard work. Well, that is just the baseline. That is just the beginning. I've been working very hard in my life with great successes and great failures, so I can talk only from experience. Working hard will get you nowhere if you don't actually start implementing the other one, working smart. Most people you see that have all these big businesses, they did not work very hard. They work very hard in the beginning, and with the time they started working smart. Now, once you get the habits of working hard, as soon as you put the second layer, working smart, then real leverage comes on your side. And most of the businesses can grow just because of this one word, leverage. Now, if you work smarter, you can leverage all your assets. What are your assets? First, your personal skills and personal habits. I'm sorry to break it to you, but it all comes down to personal stuff, personal development, and personal development. So now, once you start working smarter, you're gonna start leveraging all your assets. These are your personal skills, soft skills, hard skills, good working habits, good attitude towards life, positive look at the world. All these good things, you can leverage them if you start working smarter. Now, once you put the second layer, smarter, the leverage will become your only friend, and you're gonna look through the lens of leverage, and you can ask yourself the questions: what are my assets, and how can I leverage my assets for my best benefits? In this little case of working harder and replacing 10 other people, your potential or future employees, instead of doing that, you should just stop. Just stop. And think a little bit of how not to do that. How not to do that. People usually ask me, the people that know that I am successful, they would usually say, how did you get successful? How did you get this, all this stuff? How did you do it? And the real question that they should be asking me is, what are the things you did not do to get here? Most of the people would ask, hey, tell me A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 steps for success. You know, all these things that are popular. And nobody is talking about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 things that you should be not doing. Funny enough, I told the guy, hey, my friend, this is not gonna work for you. Hard work will get you nowhere. I'm sorry to break it to the guy, but I told him, instead of continue working hard, you should look around and ask these questions to yourself. I was working hard for the last 10 years. What's the outcome? It's just more hard work. That's all it is. So I just simply told him, you should stop and take a break for 1 or 2 days, re-evaluate all your business, re-evaluate all your assets, re-evaluate all your behaviors, start a new chapter in your life with the most important question: what are my assets right now, and how can I leverage them? If you start your business, it doesn't matter at which state of your business are you right now. If you look at your business through that lens, through those 2-3 questions, I'll repeat them again because the repetition is the mother of progress. Yeah? And these are the questions you should ask yourself. What are my assets right now? Start from yourself. Start from yourself. Some people would say, oh, my assets are, I have like 20 apartments, 200 buildings, 10 pizza places, blah, 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 all this stuff. These are physical assets. I'm talking to you about your real assets. Your body, your physicality, your mind, the way you think, your philosophy. And sometimes we need to stop and get back to the basics. You know, most of the people don't get back to the basics. They just work harder and harder and harder till one day they just poof. They lose control, they lose themselves, or they lose their business, their family, or their relationships. Most of the people just work hard without a clue. And now, if you ask the questions, what are my real assets and how to use them to get the maximum leverage at that moment? That is a good question to ask. Now, it does not matter the size of the business. You may be a $1,000 per day person, you may be $200 per day person, you may be $100 per day person. You may be a guy who is working on a gas station. You may be a multi-billionaire who has 500 companies or 10,000 employees under your belt. It does not matter. It's good from time to time to get back to the basics, the philosophy of business. If you are in business, it's good back to the basics. It is good to get back to the basics. Ask yourself the real questions. How can I stop for a day or two and do actually not working hard, but thinking hard? And here is the kicker of this video. Most people stay poor because they do poor thinking, not that they work less. Most people work very hard, but they think very less. Let me rephrase it in the original statement. Most people stay poor because they think like a poor person, which means work hard and don't think. Think lazy and work hard. My mentor said that poor thinking habits keep most people poor, not working habits. I'll say this one more time. Poor thinking habits keeps most people poor, not their working habits. Most people work very hard. And the worst thing in life is to work very hard on something that should not be done at all. In that case, for this guy, it is just working hard, compensating 3 or 5 or 10 employees, because in his mind, as a small business owner, he is thinking that he can replace the whole universe. If I throw him like 20 cars today, well, he won't be able to fix it. Or he will fix it, but it will take a lot of time. A lot of time. And he can do it only by working hard. But instead of stopping and asking these questions, how can I do it without working at all? That's a good question. Some people think, oh, these business people thinking and working very hard. Here is a little secret to tell you. Most rich people, they think all day long how not to work. Now, when you see them in some podcast and they are talking and very pumped up and, oh, I work hard, I did this, I did that. Well, let me tell you, this is just for the show. In reality, they don't work hard, but they think hard. And what they think all day long is what they become. It is innate in our nature to be somewhat lazy creatures. And if we weren't lazy creatures, none of this technology and none of these things will be here. You see, everything that you see, electricity, houses, cars, all these products, all this is man-made stuff to fulfill one purpose: convenience. For us to live more convenient life, we have to think hard out of the box how not to work. How not to work. That is a good philosophy. Now, if you look at life and business through this lens, miracles can happen, because there are many people actually who wants to help you in your business. And most of the small-minded people and the small business people, they would say, yeah, but I cannot find people. There's no people. I cannot afford them. That's what the guy told me. That's what this auto guy told me. Hey, I say, why don't you hire like 10 people here in this garage and get all these cars tomorrow? Say, yeah, but I cannot afford them. This guy is young and I pay him very little. Yeah, he got all the philosophy backwards. He does not understand that employees are making you money, not taking money away from you. They are actually making you money. If you are a smart business person, of course, and if you know how to judge human character, you can get the best employees. And believe it or not, some of these people will work almost for free, because not everything is about money. Money is an important part of life, but some people just want some other stuff besides money, like experience, knowledge, guidance. Some of these young people would work for free mentorship. Some of these guys, young people, can do a lot better work than you, working hard instead of thinking hard. That's because what we said. Poor thinking habits keep most people poor, not their working habits. Most people work very, very hard. And I would say 95% of the hard work is concentrated in 5% of the whole work that should not be done at all. But that's how people like to work. You know, we are like little robots. We want to go to our jobs and we want to do the jobs, and soon we are automated like robots. And what a robot can do, you cannot do. The robot is programmed to do the work. And humans are not robots. They are programmed to be innovative, to be creative, to be exercising their ingenuity, to make smart decisions. All that takes is a lot of thinking. That means that you have to exercise your mind, you have to exercise your brain, because that's how we are different than robots and animals. We have this most sophisticated machinery known to us. Yeah? The human brain, the human mind. And if you look closely at that, you will know that there's no limits. We are limitless in that regard. We can go to Mars, we can go to other, all because of our minds. But once you start working very hard, the automation process begins. So I'm gonna close this video, and I took you with me on a little walk. Here is a countryside, beautiful nature, cars on the road, busy people all around. I wish you good luck. If you are watching this video and if you learn something, at least one sentence, Please share your video with somewhat friend of yours who might be a entrepreneur or somebody who wants to get out of the 5 to 9 slavery or whatever you call it, like the job, you know. So there you have it, my friend. I wish you good luck and make the best of yourself and the best of your assets that you possess right now.